Alright, welcome back to my channel. Today we are reacting to perfectly timed photos. Now, I'm a professional photographer and videographer, so I'm gonna be seeing if I think some of these are fake. That's my real intention here. Let's get into it. Yeah, that's so clearly photoshopped. I don't even find it that funny, I'm not gonna lie. I think this is catered to the same audience that thinks cats playing the piano is cute. It's not for me, but yeah, I mean, the Photoshop is pretty good. And I like the idea. I like where they was going, but it's not for me. 3 out of 10. It's very 2005. It's very early YouTube. Now this is, I love this. I don't know why, because it doesn't really make sense to me. Is the bee pooing out the sun or something like that? It's perfectly timed, definitely perfectly timed. I think it's symmetrically perfectly timed, which is what makes it perfectly timed. But again, I feel like there has to be a point to the perfect timing. It needs to look like something is happening that makes sense to me. I'm suspicious about these plants at the bottom. That to me is perfect symmetry. For plants that don't stand perfectly or symmetrically like that is what I'm more impressed with. And part of me thinks that the bee's wings are fake too, because what are the odds, considering those flap at like thousands of beats per minute? Yes, you can have cameras that go up to like 8,000th of a second, but the odds of those wings being exactly even like that, I guess that's what makes it a perfectly timed photo, Kim. I'd give this a 4 out of 10. I'm rating it on like how nice the image is, as well as the symmetry, as well as the timing, as well as it making sense. I like this. I like this. This won't get anything less than a 6 or a 7. Simply because although owls definitely, I think they do that quite often, that just looks funny. That looks hilarious. That is meme worthy. Because you know all that space on the right, it's just waiting for somebody to add text to that. When the argument's done and they keep talking under their breath. Squeeze me. Yeah. I love this. I love it, but visually it's not something I'm into. I'm not big on nature or wildlife or landscape photography. I like those things in real life, but not really as photos. So I'd give this a 6.5. Next one. Now this I like. This I like. Because again, I think maybe it's my art background, but the fact that the eyes are matching, it just makes me think of nice art pieces. Like, it makes me think of creative ideas and things like that. Now the colors are horrible. The colors of the parrot or the bird, beautiful. I think this little guy would struggle to fit in any photo unless it was a set design. Now all this green on the side, the crop factor, all of that, I understand it was probably taken on a phone. It was a random moment. It's not a curated, art piece. But I think the positioning of the eye alone has to make this a 6. But the colors are so horrible that's what's brought it down from what I would have given it, which is like a 7, 8. And I think it is real. I definitely think this is real. Yeah, real. But 6.5 out of 10. That is beautiful. I love that. I love that. I love that. 8 out of 10. I don't even need to think about it. The moment, this must have been shot at 8 millionth of a second shutter speed. I love the way the light is like on the the rim of the finger like that. Yeah, that's perfect, man. I love that. I don't know how many times I've said yeah, but I think the only problem with this is the crop factor, which I'm sure isn't even this photographer's fault. It's whoever's uploaded this to wherever it was at. But if it was just full screen or portrait and it was a bit darker, definitely be a 9 or something like that. And yeah, I definitely think it's real, but I do love the moment. And there's definitely some kind of artistic metaphor to come with this. Like how society is chaotic in parts, but orderly in other parts. On to the next one. Off rip, this doesn't look real because it looks like a painting. And I don't think that's to do with the quality. Even the shape of the clouds, like how it's all, it looks like the clouds are vertical. Yeah, this doesn't look real. This doesn't look like a photo, But if it is a painting, 10 out of 10. If it was a photo, I'm sorry, it would get less just because it seems a bit overexposed. But that's definitely a beautiful thing to see. So as a painting, 10 out of 10. I don't think it's real. That is wild. I love that. And he's listening to music. So it's like perfect. Or I assume he's listening to music anyway. That is so, I love that. I love that so much. 10 out of 10. I don't care if it was shot on a phone or a camera or a dust particle. That is a 10 out of 10. Just the idea of it. It would be such a killjoy if he was just watching Netflix or something. I need to know deep down that he was listening to music, so that makes sense. But let's assume he is. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I know it's overexposed in parts, but who cares? And that's a lesson in photography in general. If the idea and the core concept are great, it gets so much easier to ignore the fundamentals. That is a 10 out of 10. And I think it's real. Alright, off rip, I definitely say this is not real. The lighting doesn't make any sense from left to right. It doesn't look like the same place. They've done well to try and mask it. Even the way the foliage, the center part of the right section, right? It doesn't match how far away that car is. Like, it doesn't look like it's going down the lake. It just looks like a flat image that you photoshopped in. It also doesn't match the lighting of the fence. And also, if there's a lens on Earth that can keep all of this in frame, unless they did focus stacking, which is possible, but still, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. I think it's fake. I don't like fake stuff. 0 out of 10. I think even if the photographer showed me how they did it and showed me that it was real, I would still not believe it. So no, 0 out of 10. The idea is cool, but I feel like it would have looked just as good if somebody attempted this in real life. 4 cats. Okay, 5 cats. Yeah, that is cool timing, but it's such a bad photo. Not much point either. One of them's looking the other way. I'm sorry. I know it's very critical, and I feel like in the moment this would have been so cool. Like, what are the odds? What are they even there for? Are they having a meeting? What? Like, again, part of me thinks, what if someone just brought their cats there and put them there? That seems more likely to me than these cats just gathering like this. 2 out of 10. It's very mundane. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. This looks like a selfie. This looks like a selfie. 10 out of 10. I love it. I love it. I love it. The way the hair on the left one is just flowing over like that. The right one looks like it saw the left one taking the selfie and was like, no, get me. Yeah. No, I love this. Guys in the back, yeah, you missed out. You missed out. This is a 10 out of 10. And shout out to the photographer, because unless these are your horses, you would have had to make them feel so comfortable enough to come that close to you and like do that. I love it. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. And I definitely say that's real. It looks so real, but I'm gonna say no. I just don't believe it. There's no way. And part of me thinks the sun science of it doesn't make sense either. Like, how could the left be so red and the right be so yellow like that? There's something fishy about it, and I ain't talking about the water. If it was real, 9 out of 10, only again because of the crop. There's something about square photos that just don't sit right with me. I do think this is real, simply because of all the imperfections I can see. I do love the colors. Yellow and purple, I've always thought work really well together. Yeah, I love it. Again, the crop just feels strange, but you know what? I'm gonna assume that all of these images were shot nicely and then someone ruined them with a crop. So yeah, let's grain of salt, huge grain of salt, a big bucket of seasoning. 9 out of 10. Only because, again, I'm not a fan of landscapes. Nothing is there. Nothing's happening. But I think it would be a good, like, thing to hang up. Framed art kind of thing. That's hilarious. And I would love to know the story behind this. Like, if that's a strange art, there's no way I could take that photo and not film his reaction to the photo. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to disrupt that nap because he is slumped. He's in another realm. It's mundane, but it looks so real that I love it. It looks so real that I trust it. You know, even, and if it was shot on a camera, shallow depth of field, I feel like the blur would have ruined the cliffs in the back or the mountains in the back. So yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. It looks real. Why are my eyes welling up? 10 out of 10. It definitely looks real just because it's not perfectly lined up, but I don't care. And I like the crop. For once, the crop makes sense. You just know that person waited for that yawn. And that could have taken 2 minutes or 2 hours. And we don't know, and that's why I like photography. With videography, there's no intrigue, there's no mystery, because what happened? Oh, it's there, it's in the video. That's what happened. But this, it's like, you can sit with a photographer, whether it's an interview for a YouTube channel, or you know the photographer personally, and those are stories that can be told. Like, oh, how'd you get this photo? Oh, funny story. So the dog wouldn't yawn, right? You know, and then it's something, you know what I mean? 10 out of 10. This is the best one. That's it for the video. If you like this reaction and you want me to make more, please comment down below. Yeah, wild ride. And I feel like there are millions, don't know what happened to my voice there. There are millions of photos in this world. Maybe I should start like an email for people to send some in or something like that. My email's in the description. Send some if you find some. And if I get 10, I'll make another one. Click on this video if you want to see me take a photography test. As a pro photographer of almost 7 years. Let's see if I fail it. If I fail, I'm gonna have to just sell my camera.